How do we find ourselves here again? You might remember just last season against the Jets, we saw Ryan Hartman face off against Cole Perfetti, where he caught Perfetti up high in a sequence that actually went uncalled during the game, but the next day it was announced that he did receive a $5,000 fine for it. However, that same day, Perfetti revealed the following.
He made it pretty obvious, what happened to Kaprizov there. I mean, he's obviously going to be out for a little bit. That's what he thought he needed to do. Yeah, I was mic'd up, so to come out and blatantly say it to the mic, it worked out in our favor.
Now, he's referencing Kaprizov getting injured by Dillon on this play a game prior, but Hartman decided to go after Perfetti in revenge, one of the smallest guys on the team, by the way, with a full admission of having done so with intent to injure. Well, tonight, as the Wild came into Ottawa, guess who was back at it? But this one's gotta be a suspension. You see, the Sens were dominant tonight, and after Norris would open the scoring short-handed in the final minutes of the first for his 19th, they were just the far more active team all night, doubling up on shots, outshooting the Wild 35-12 in the first two periods alone. So in the second, we would see Foligno trying to inject a spark, coming together with Zub with a bit of a headlock here as the two teams would come together. But didn't do a whole lot, as on that 4-on-4, Tkachuk and Stutzle would connect with his 17th to double up the lead. Before, just a minute later, it's Amadio with their third straight unanswered. Pinto and Greg doing some great work here as they net 2 goals in 67 seconds. Again, shots were 9-2 for the period and 23-10 at this point in the game. So it was Hartman's turn to try to get some energy going. He'd go after Hamonic repeatedly, who seemingly gave him the old jack eye treatment we saw in Montreal of, we're up 3-0, bud. Hartman, though, kept wanting it. These two would exchange pleasantries as you could feel Hartman was just brewing. Frustrated, and with Hamonic not obliging, he diverted his attention towards Stutzle. Gave him a hit. Stutzle responds with a whack, as we'd see both go to the box. Hartman for embellishing as well as two for roughing, and yeah, they were yapping at each other in the box pretty good. But Hamonic giving him the stare down from across the ice was pretty hilarious. Anyway, while nothing would come on that ensuing power play, it brings us to this. 16 seconds on the clock, and it's a face-off between Stutzle and Hartman. And stop me if you've seen this before, because sure enough, on this face-off, it's Hartman with a greasy play. Right off the draw, he decides to ram Stutzle to the ice and just obviously crosses a line here. Stutzle was cut pretty good and leaking pretty good in what again came right at the end of the period. The officials would call a 5-minute match penalty, which they reviewed and upheld, but look at him. I don't understand how he doesn't think this was a penalty. The two benches would come together a bit as they were chirping at each other, but again, for the second season in a row, we see Hartman going after a young, skilled player with a clear intent to injure. This is undoubtedly going to get further punishment, as there's just no place for this in the game. And while Hamonic, like Kevin Bieksa noted during the intermission, could have possibly avoided this ordeal if he had just dropped the gloves earlier in the period, I also get why he didn't. He doesn't want to give the Wild any energy. They are the best road team in the league, but regardless, there's no excuse for this. It's a boneheaded play from a repeat offender. It's just disgusting. Now, to start that third period, with the extended power play, the Sens would take advantage. It's Sanderson first, firing it over the shoulder of Gustafsson to make it a 4-goal game. Shortly after, Tkachuk with numbers keeps it, and he scores, sneaking one past Gustafsson for his 20th to make it 5 straight goals, which almost immediately after, it's Pinto going down, drawing another penalty as Middleton would be called for the elbow. Another bit of a nasty penalty, as the Senators would now get a 2-man advantage, where Stutzle for Batherson, and this game was blown wide open. I mean, if it wasn't already, he snaps a 10-game drought for their 6th in a row, putting a pounding, again, on the best road team in the NHL. But that was about it for this game. 52 shots on net by the Senators, and as time expired, Ottawa would get a standing O in their 4th straight victory, 5th straight at home, with Merlainen recording the 16-save shutout. But aside from the dub, this is going to be the conversation out of this one. You guys let me know your thoughts down below. And just quickly, since I announced that jersey giveaway I'm doing, I've been overwhelmed by the amount of subscribers. Thank you guys. For anyone that isn't aware, I am striving to hit 100,000 this season, and so if you're not subscribed, please do, because when I hit it, I am going to give an NHL jersey away of the winner's choice. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it as always, and I'll see you in the next one.